Are you ready for some hide and seek and a lot of talking? Because that is exactly what is going to happen in this part 19, I think. See, I can't remember sometimes of Pentiment. I bid you welcome. We're going to find Ulrike because we promised to find her. But first, I want to talk to the Gartners because we haven't been here yet. Big Jorg, tell me thy story. Magdalene, how are the hinges on your doors? Not the things, but the hinges on your doors, because it was broken into and our father was clubbed down by someone. Excuse me? The door hinges at home, are they in good working order? To be honest, I've never really checked. I'm more worried about taking charge of the press than looking at door hinges. Right. Maybe Enris should take a look after. Because it would suck if people broke in again. I would have asked your father, but, well... Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town leave their hinges to rust. No need. I kind of like the idea of Magdalene being a little bit spikes out person, but damn, we don't have to be that way to everyone, only to the people who deserve it. I didn't realize you had such an interest in hinges. Oh, it's not my interest in particular. Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all homes in Tassing. Well, while it does seem a little bit nosy to me, why not just let folks take care of themselves? I guess that checking on hinges is something that goes overlooked most of the time, so... I mean, you could just knock on the door, check the hinges, and then go away. No need to be nosy. So, what do you think of the idea, Jorg? Jorg? Well, it's not a bad thing, but I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in Tassing helps each other. As I see it, if someone notices a house in disrepair, we all pitch in to fix it. To do anything else would be unchristian. How well do you know your neighbors? I mean, I live in, I guess we can call it an apartment complex thing-ish. A lot of neighbors, to the left, to the right, to the up. I live on the bottom, basement floor, basement for ground floor. So beneath me there'd be basement and laundry rooms and stuff. So no neighbors down. So I can stomp as much as I want to on the floor. But yes, to the right of me, over me, to the left of me, up, diagonally up. Yes, neighbors. Do I know them? Not really. Do I greet them? Most of the time. And that's basically the extent I know my neighbors. Used to know my neighbors a lot more when I was a wee little child in the late 80s, early 90s. Then yes, was a much friendlier, had much friendlier relations with my neighbors. But that has kind of gone out the window, hasn't it? We kind of moved past that, more or less. Anyway, but if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know? And don't we all like to feel useful? I know I do. Speaking of, I'd better get back to work. Nice to chat with you, Magda. Alright, see you later, Jorg. Oh, Peter, how are you doing? Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? Oh, what's that zombie-like stance?
What's that?
Can I talk to you for a moment?
God damn it, don't you shout at me!
I'm sorry, Peter.
What do you want anyway?
I was wondering if you could tell me some of the stories about Tassing. Well, a chicken struts by? Hello. That's a very saucy walk.
Oh, the old tales, huh?
I see pigs. Were those your pigs that got shot in the last episode?
It's been so damn long since anyone had a thought to ask me about what I know. But there's still a few of the old tales knocking about in this skull.
Are there any myths from even before the Romans came to Tassing?
Yeah, of course there are. The Romans weren't the first ones to live here, you know. There are spirits older than the saints that live in these woods, older than the Romans. They protected Tassing before Saint Moritz ever set a blessed foot in town.
What sort of spirits?
The sort that I'm getting at. Didn't your father teach you patience, Magdalene?
Sorry.
It's Perchta and her wild hunt that scare the evil ones away. They've protected Tassing since its founding day. Long before those Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Aratus.
Wait, isn't Ratus a Latin name?
Eh?
The ending on his name is the masculine singular ending common on most male Roman names. Us.
Yeah, plenty of names end with the same letters. Doesn't make them Latin, does it? Now, quit your yammering and listen. Folks weren't as kind as they are now, and the tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favored other tribes, and Ratus's people had no land to call their own. Instead, they wandered through these mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day, when winter was approaching, Ratus went hunting and found a wounded wolf tangled in a trap. But instead of killing the beast, as most men would, he helped the beast and loosed it from its bounds.
Who was Carl again? Can I click on Carl? Thank you. Ah, right, the guy with a spoon in his hat. Why would he do that? Wolves kill livestock. Carl told me that 2 of his sheep were killed by wolves just last month.
Pfeiffer doesn't keep after his flock well enough, then. And as for you, let me get on with the telling of it and stop being a gossip if you want an answer.
Damn you, old man. Sorry, Peter, please keep going.
The old gods are keen to repay favors done, and Perchta is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals. She leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts of the forest. Back in my day, folks knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm the only one who remembers these things. Perchta saw Ratus's action and took favor on him and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Ratus led his people to the spring and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in this valley ever since. Then those goddamn Romans came and destroyed everything. But you see, there were other guards protecting this place before Saint Moritz. That's why a few of us still honor Pashta. She protects us against witches and fiends,
but clearly not murders. I mean, yeah, but you want the early history of Tassing, and I guess the early history of Tassing is kind of in, no one really knows. Yeah, Smokey told me a similar story with a wolf and a nymph, except his was about the Roman gods.
The Romans tried to wipe out all of the old ways, made everything about themselves. That sounds remarkably like the Christians.
They saw pagan holidays, thought, if we want to spread, we take that, and, you know, integrate it into our religion, and then we just put something there and said, that happened. Yule, or Christmas. Pagan holiday. Jesus was not born on Christmas.
You think those wine-addled fools could stand to let us have our own custom?
No, because if you want to take over a piece of land, country, nation, whatever, and you want to make sure that they become part of your empire, you need to eradicate their sense of self. So, no, they wouldn't let you have their customs.
They may have built this town, but they didn't write its stories.
Who sent Persta?
God sent Persta to protect these woods from those sun-brained bastards. Even if I'm the only one who can see her through the old customs.
What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of Tassing?
The Roman legends? Pah! I don't bother with stories from outsiders or tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy this town. We've spent generation after generation building Tassing back up from those days. And still our traditions keep dying, with no one to carry them on.
To be fair, Andreas did try to instill some sort of sense of history into Ursula. But we failed. And also she died, so that sucks. That's why I want to know, Peter. These stories need to be on the mural.
The mural, huh? Fine, but I don't know any of the old Roman shit.
All right. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter.
At least someone wants to listen to me. I'm tired. Talking so much has made my jaw ache.
I'll leave you to rest then. God bless you, Peter. Or Persta bless you. Huh. Ill Peter Stories. Ill Peter told me a story about our ancestors and how they found Tassing. Ratus was a lord or a chieftain among our people. During a hunt, he found a wolf, but he noticed the wolf's paw was injured by a trap. He spared the wolf's life, and the goddess Persta used the wolf to guide Ratus and his people to Tassing's spring. The tribe settled in this valley and lived here until the Romans came. It's more myth than history, but it certainly makes for a nice story. Sure does. What's going on inside the Gertner house? Veronica?
Hello, Magdalene.
How is the mural going? Hope my husband hasn't been bothering you about it too much. No, the council has left me to work for the most part. I think Utz has something to do with that. That boy has his eye on you, Magda. At least he's using his authority to do some good. Usually that lot just meddle around in things that are best left alone. Those men are bad influences on each other, if you ask me. Now they're chattering on about a yearly check of the hinges on every door in town. Hinges? Who gives a damn if the hinges on our front door creak? I mean, to be fair, if your hinges creak, the door's integrity is at stake. Yes, well, I don't need to check every door in my house every year like it's a feast day. Well, no, not every door. I think the front door would be enough. Every door leading out. If there's a creaky hinge, I'll hear it. And then just oil it. Anyway, I think it's good of you to be working on the mural. I wish Artemis and Apollo would take interest in something like that. Speaking of, have you seen them around anywhere? Yes, they're in the forest, gathering frogs for an epic prank. I asked them to look after the chickens, but they've disappeared. Yeah, they're catching frogs to stuff into the church tabernacle. They're what? Oh, God. I'll have to talk to Father Thomas about this. Maybe I shouldn't have... whatever. He already thinks they're only so much trouble because Jorg and I named them after Greek gods. He says those names have power, but I still like them. Besides, Apollo and Artemis were gods of virtues. If anything, they should be more well-behaved. I mean, yeah, names only have as much power as we allow them to have. Can every Greek name really invoke pagan gods? Maybe you're right. Father Thomas spends too much time in his books. Besides, then he'd be in a poor state. Father Thomas, the doubter. Anyway, I'd better go find those rascals. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Thanks, Veronica. Until later. The snitch. Whoops. I snitched on Artemis and Apollo. It's unlikely their plan will work out now. They won't be very happy with me, but the adults will be pleased, I'm sure. Well, I guess I did kind of snitch. Whatever. Hello, Magdalene, dear. How are you? How's Klaus? He's, neither of us is doing well. I'm having trouble coping with the stress. Dad's been hard to understand recently. Yeah. Been there. Oh God, I'll keep praying for you both. That's nice of you, but praying doesn't do a damn thing. The both of you deserve the best. Life's been hard enough for you already. Yes, it sure has. Please let me know if you need any help around the house. I would be happy to help. Oh, thank you, Clara. That's very kind of you. I've been so busy in the rat house, I've let the house, go a bit. Oh, not to worry. I'll come by and help. Besides, then we can chat, and chatter makes chores pass quickly. Chatter makes everything pass quickly. With all my children up and grown and no husband to care for anymore, I've got to make myself useful somehow. And we all like to be useful. Or at least feel like we're useful. Even if it's an empty gesture. We just like to feel useful, you know? Big Jorg is still in the house, though, isn't he? Oh, yes, but he's a grown man with children of his own. He and Veronica are capable of caring for their own household now. Ava is taking care of Utz, and Ursula and Fabian have their own life together. Oh, Ursula isn't dead. Why did I think Ursula was dead? Ursula's not dead. There's Fabian. Have I seen Ursula? Maybe that's... I don't think so. Maybe that's why I thought she was dead. Huh. They don't need me anymore. Note to self, need to find Ursula. She's with Fabian, whoever Fabian is. I mean, they don't need me anymore. Isn't that a good thing? Again, we like to feel wanted, most of us. Some people are perfectly fine. You sound sad. Ah, well, I suppose I am. I thank God that my children are all grown and prospering. But I do feel there's been something missing in my life. After so many years of tending to them and maintaining a home, I don't know what else to do. I mean, let's not make it about us now, yeah? You could always find something new to do. Keep busy by helping Gret in the bakery, or something. Jorg has been telling me to rest more, but you're right. I'd rather keep busy as long as there's life left in these old bones. Yes, you can rest when you're not able to move around anymore. That said, please don't work yourself to the bone and break your body. Definitely not. Don't work until you're like 70 or 80, unless you like to work until you're 70 or 80. Listen to your body, but do stuff while you can. Because at one point, your body is going to tell you to stop doing things. And by then you'll regret all the things you didn't do, so please don't have those regrets. Well, that's settled. I'll come over to help around the house soon, alright? I'll see you then, Clara. God bless you, Magdalene. Got in a bedroom. Is there anyone here? So, Ursula and Fabian. Can I find a Fabian around here? To go back for that. Or I can just go to U for Ursula. There's Ursula. Ursula Rauchin? Daughter of Peter and Clara, half-sister of Ava and Big Jorg, married to Fabian Rauch. Rauch? Wait, so... Miller, Rauch, in? Do you get the in suffix if you're the female member of a family? Okay, Paul Miller. If we go see Anna, we still don't have Anna in here, so I can't check that. Damn. Brett Albanin, Bergerin. Okay, Bergerin, Nico. Anna Bergerin, Berger. Okay, so yeah, the female members of a family get the in suffix. Okay, I don't know why, but sure. Also, who the fuck is Fabian? Fabian, whatever. Rauch. Rauch? Where's the Rauch household? Outer testing? Gertner, Bauer. Did she move away? But haven't I seen Fabian around here? There's no Rauch. Rauch. Okay, this is just smudged out. Okay, not allowed to go in here. Okay. Ursula's around and kicking. Maybe not exactly here, but she's alive and kicking. Good to know. Now we go find Ulrike, who is hiding. She went towards the bakery. And then follow the sounds of giggling. Or just go right here. Hello, Ulrike. Aha! There you are. I like your hat. Aha, you found me. Bet you can't find me again, Mag. I sure can if you're walking that slow. So I guess we follow the sound of giggling again. Oh. Hello. Got you. Oh, you found me again. Wait here. I will find better spots. I guess we're locked into playing hide and seek. Storch house. Screw that guy. Eisenkopf? Oh, right. You were in the woods, but you don't have a long enough beard to be the one who was at the salt mine. Hello, Magdalene. I don't really know any long-bearded fellas. Again, it looked very much like Adok. But he should be dead. Then again, I thought Ursula was dead, so... Okay. I see your hat. You can't hide from me, little bean. You're too good, Mag. I will go find Mom now. Okay, and will Anna say thank you? Yes, hi, I'll get back to you soon. Ulrike ain't here. Yes, go up, please, Magda. Thank you. Moonwalk up. Anna. God bless you. Maglin. Okay, sure, whatever. To the Kreutzer house. Hello. Black Till. Ava. Christina. Christina? Hi, Magda. Hello, Christina. What are you doing today? Helping Mom. That's just right. You're really pretty. Oh, thank you, Christina. You're really pretty too. Thank you. Don't tell. It's a secret. I definitely won't. You're funny, Magda. Thanks. I'm still not gonna marry Utz. I'm gonna move away from Tassing. I don't think Utz want to follow. Hello, Ava. Magda, darling. Utz isn't here, I'm afraid. No, he's right outside. I know. I wasn't looking for him. No? Are you sure? Yes. 100% sure. I think he wandered off toward the rat house. No, he's right outside your house. Something about the council, but if you ask me, I think he's looking for you. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint him. Stop trying to set us up. He'll recover once he learns you've dropped by. He's always working on town council business these days, and he's still working at mastering carpentry too. Okay, thank you. I was wondering what he was doing. He is a carpenter. That's a nice profession. I wanted to be a carpenter at one point. I wanted to be a lot of things when I was a little kid. Of course, there's the stereotypical police, astronaut, fireman, but a little bit older, I think 10s, 11s, 12s, somewhere like that. Carpentry was on my mind too. I don't know why I didn't follow through with that, because I think that would have been fun. Making furniture and also just working wood with your hands, or more machines now these days, sure, but still. I think that... Is it too late, you think? Could I still be a carpenter? I think that would be fun. Maybe I'll look into that. I suggested a few years ago that he take up an apprenticeship, but he was determined to remain in Tassing. I think he's more comfortable here, even if that means he will never be the craftsman Otto was. I help him how I can, but there's only so much I know how to do. Besides, I think he feels like he's taking care of me, instead of the other way around. Funny how time does that. I mean, yes, I would jump at the chance to leave Tassing if it didn't mean that Dad would be left alone. I imagine Utz felt the same. Oh, I wouldn't have been alone. I have Mom and Jorg and the rest of the family to help take care of. Besides, they keep me busy. I'll never want for anything with Utz and the community here in Tassing. I miss my husband, for sure, but I'm proud of Utz. He's growing into a capable young man. I'm excited to see him grow into a husband and father. He'll make a wonderful partner. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Poke, poke. Well, whoever he marries will be a lucky woman. It's about that time to start finding a match, too. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It's wonderful that God blessed Endris with a wife at last, but I'd rather not have Utz be in his position. Better to marry earlier while he can still raise a family. Anyway, I'm sure you have things to do. I'll let you get back to them. Always good to see you, Magda. You too, Ava. I'm still not gonna marry your son. Hello, Blacktail. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment? No, of course. What do you need? Utz says you've been obsessed with your painting. Yeah, I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mural. We're still just on the first part of the mural. Okay. Mother Illuminata said that your grandfather read about the history of the town. Ah, fertile fields, that is. Seemed like old potchards and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Granddad's reading came from the Abbey's library, though. And you know what happened there. Poof! Up in smoke. Andreas did save a few books before he burnt, though. What books did he save? Must have been ones on the ground floor, because he was in and out rather quickly. What was on the ground floor? Oh, actually, wasn't the book we found which we thought that the puppet master had written in? Wasn't that on the ground floor? Was that on the second floor? I do not remember. Ah, crap. Yeah, you were very young though, so your memories are probably very hazy and blurry. But sure, I remember. I was there. Ah, you were just a babe in arms then. You never got to know the library in its prime. But I can show you something better than books. Evidence? Oh, something like that. See, We don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looks to be an old forge, mountains of salt. Even found a little bear carved from amber. Where did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things. Fabian too. Any farmer would tell you the same. Okay, so Fabian is here, and so that means Ursula would be too. But they don't have a home of their own, so where the hell would they be living? Because Ursula is a Gertner, but they're not living there. And Fabian is basically new in Tassing, so I don't know where he would move in. Am I gonna have to go door to door? Because I want to find Ursula. It's all out there in the fields under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something. But where are you keeping these things? Nowhere. We just toss them into piles and with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much of anything with the stuff except look at it. Well, what do you think it all means? I don't follow. Where do you think they all went? What do you think they were like? How do you think these people lived? Where do you think they all went? Yeah, I expect a lot of them were killed by the Romans. Or each other. We find bones too. Like human sacrifice? No. Feels more like skirmishes or regular burials. They're arranged all nice or else in big clumps. All mixed up with spearheads and axes and shields. Not so different from today, really. Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? Had to have, I would say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tassing was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt. The one true way of preserving things in the old days. So Tassing wasn't just on the Imperial Road. They made the road come through Tassing. This has been a big help. I'm glad to spread some knowledge around. Important for folks to know their past. Yes. Both the good and the bad and the ugly. We need to preserve the past. We need to know about it. You think all this pagan stuff will make it in the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the rat house tomorrow, if that would help at all. That would be great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. And kinda ill Peter a little bit. Until tomorrow. Until then. I should go get back to the rat house and get to work. Isn't that what we also had before, or at least was told to go to the rat house, but I wasn't going, whatever. Blacktail told me that farmers in Tassing have found all sorts of tools and fragments of pottery from our pagan ancestors who once lived here. He said that he can bring them by the rat house if I want to illustrate them in the mural. It wouldn't make for a spectacular scene in the mural, but maybe just showing how our ancestors once lived would be a good thing. I should head to the rat house and finalize my plans. I should, but also I am so very interested in seeing where the hell Fabian and Ursula live. This is the Miller house. This is Paul. This is just Paul and Anna and Anders. No, not Anders. Andreas and Ulrike. And else. Makes sense. What about the outer farms? There's Carl. Hello, Carl. Ursula! Hello, Ursula. Fabian. Good afternoon. Yes, Ursula. Hello, Magdalene. I'm so glad to see you're alive. Now I know, she's living in the outer farms with Carl. Well, I guess Carl and Helena did have a child. I don't remember they naming the boy Fabian, though. But sure, let's go with it. Let's go back to the rat house to do some work. Steinauer house? Wasn't this the midwife? Agnes, hello. Ah, good day, Magdalene. Brisk weather today, isn't it? You only have one arm, do you? And Brigitte said Kraft would bring me round some provisions. Ha! No doubt he's off causing some other trouble again. Daft bastard. He'll never make anything of himself at this rate. You know he keeps trying to come on to me, Agnes. Just like Utz. Ah, I trust you've beat some sense into him, Magda. Something like that. Good. My grandson doesn't deserve a keen girl like you. Ooh, that's harsh. My grandson is a devil and a rascal. I'm near ready enough to take my cane to him myself. Ooh. You really hate your own grandson that much? Grandson? Hate is not the word for it. I want the best for my Brigitte, Magdalene. It's been hard for her watching her husband and son destroy everything she's worked for. Especially after that bastard husband of hers ran away for all those years. Who was her husband again? I've had enough of second chances, Magdalene. No one thought to give my husband a second chance. Yeah, lucky, eh? That old abbot didn't give a damn about second chances, much less forgiveness, either. Doesn't sound very Christian to me. No, it seems no one in Tassing gets a second chance at anything. Well, you didn't come all this way to hear an old woman lament the past. What can I do for you? I thought you might have some additional remedies for my father. Oh, right. Oh, Werner's not good enough. I understand Klaus's condition is dire, but I thought Werner would be able to provide something. Dr. Stoltz has been less than reliable. I can't imagine he'd provide any help whatsoever at the moment. The bastard's made a mess of himself these past few years. I don't pity the man, though. He's done this to himself. Let me see what I can whip up. I can't promise anything, but God willing, I pray it provides some small help. Thank you, Agnes. Of course, Magdalene. Take care. Fine. Brigitte. Brigitte. Who the hell was your husband? Bauerin. Daughter of Agnes Steinauerin. Ugh. Daughter of Lucky Steinauer. Wife of Martin Bauer. Right. He was the only one who ran away. Mother of Kraft. Her first son, Wolf, died to illness. She lives with her husband on their farm, close friends with Veronica Bauer. And Martin is the bastard whose timeline I never can get the hang on of. Son of the late Franz and Cat Bauer, husband Brigitte, father Kraft, known for his churlish huge flight from Tassing and his repentant return. Yes. Still, was it a few weeks or was it gone years? That's very muddled in my head. He was gone. Let's leave it at that. He was gone. Okay, so Brigitte, Martin. Yes. And the rat house is where I want to go. Have a little bit of a sniffle today. Sorry about that. Work on mural. Okay, let's see. Am I going to be able to decide what to do? Or is she going to just... Is the game going to decide for me? That's... What did we say? Stop calling me Mags. Hey Mags, how's the mural coming along? Magdalene. Can't you let it go? Mags is so much easier. No, Otto Zimmerman, I can't. Don't call me... Fine. Anyway, Magdalene, how's the mural coming? It doesn't look like much yet. Well, of course, it doesn't look like anything now. No work of art appears significant at the start. You think Michelangelo was born a great sculptor? What would you know about it? Do you even know the difference between egg tempera and oil paint? Neither do you, but the town has learned to accept it over the last 18 years. I'm gonna let you off the hook this time, Utz, but if you keep going, next time you're gonna get barbed. Well, of course it doesn't look like anything now, because I haven't started working on it. I only just finished priming the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. History, stories, yes. Even what I could find out about the Romans and pagans was obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. Do you? So, what is it? Aha! Let's see. We can be very practical. Use the pottery and tools the farmers have found to show how we lived before the Romans. Can be a little bit mythical. Smokey told me a story about the god Mars as a wolf, the nymph Tassia, and how the spring was blessed. I mean, it feels like this would be kind of okay because the name Tassing probably came from the name Tassia. Il Peter remembered a legend about a chieftain, Ratus, who healed a wolf that led him to a spring. Or the whole human sacrifice thing. I mean... I do like this one, because again, Tassia, Tassing, show where their name for the town came from. But also this, because that kind of relates to how the people lived before the Romans. This is just Romans, pre-Romans. I want both of these, actually. Okay. So, Sorry about the noise. I'm just getting my handy little bag of dice I have here. Let's see. That's a D12, that's perfect. So, 1 to 6 we're going with Smokey, and 7 to 12 we're going with the Pershta thing. 2, we're going with Smokey. Sounds interesting. Is that Christian, though? I might be a little worried Father Thomas will take it the wrong way. So, what made you choose this story, anyway? Roll of the dice. But, about this, I like that it's about the founding of Tassing. Everyone knows the spring in the woods. I guess that's true. We all know that it's old and it's always been there. Here. There and here. Here and there. Still, I think Father Thomas might be upset about Mars and the lady. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I've figured out this portion of the mural out, I'd better start thinking about the next section. The next section. There's again, a lot of words are missing. I'll leave it to you, Max. Ugh, Magdalene. Good night, Utz. Good night, Magdalene. Tick, 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 tick. 3 hours passed. It's now 6 in the morning. Right to Matthew. Yes. Now that I've decided how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Kirsau's history. Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that a Matthew Forsigny-Saul used to be a brother in Kirsau. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer too. I should write to them both now, before the bed. Oh, before I write, I should read that old book Brigitte gave me. Maybe I'll learn something pertinent for the murals. That's a lot of things. So read first, but only have writing options over there. Where can I go to read a book? Hello, Dad. How you doing? Hello, Magdalene. Hello. Fucking hell. In my case, it wasn't someone being stuck in bed. Well, he was stuck in bed the last day of his life, but before then he was stuck in a wheelchair. Deteriorating slowly before our eyes. At least it was fast near the end, so we didn't have to suffer that much. Okay, if I want to read a freaking book, where do I go? Hello, Utz. Maybe it's actually... because I have the book. I should have the book. So it should be in here. If I go right... Alright, where to begin? Right, the old book. It was the Baron's before Martin stole it. Okay, so we do begin with the book. Good. When the Romans, having conquered the town, built up the walls around it, they established many temples here. This is harder to read than I thought. The book isn't in great shape either, since it's been sitting in a farmer's house for so long. Yeah, cold and drafty and humid. Let's see. Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in town. That might be easier to read. Will it mention the Mithraeus? Minrathus? Ergo simulacrum in agre ut Mars nostrum operum conspiciat? Sure. I raise a vision in a field so that Mars may behold our work. Huh. Said it Diana loco ipsa. Diana would be the goddess of hunt, wasn't he? The virgin Roman goddess of the hunt and the wilderness, Diana is also associated with fertility, the moon, and the underworld. So she goes out hunting in the wild, then she fucks a lot of people during the night in caves or something. Yeah, whatever. Diana sat in a place with water oozing up from herself. What does that mean? Sat in a place with water oozing up from herself. That could be the spring, I guess. Water oozing up from herself, if she's also the goddess of the underground salt mine. Oremes ut defendat oppidum. Let us pray so that he, or she, may defend the town. None of this really makes any sense. Maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. This book is so big, though, it would be a lot of work. I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltus for help. Werner, too. He's much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Maybe even Father Thomas, even though Dad warned me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. Not Gertrude, she's still on the top of my suspect list when it comes to being the puppet master. I should finish writing my letters first. Mother Illuminata told me that Matthew knew some of the Abbey's early history. He's the Archdeacon of Sion now. I should write to him before the snows come. I'll write to Esther too. Back to writing it is. Yes, let's address him by his current title. Most revered Matthew Fausigny Saw, Archdeacon of Sion. My name is Magdalene Druckerin. I'm the daughter of Tassing's town printer, Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's rat house. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Kersau's early history. I heard that you were the sacristan at Kersau and knew a great deal about the abbey's early history. No, let's tell him why we're writing. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Kersau's early history. I understand you are a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information that you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the Abbey's history, we would appreciate it. Yes, I know it may be small comfort, but there are many in Tassing who regret what happened during the revolt. Sister Gertrude is still here with the poor Clares, and she speaks fondly of the old abbey. Thank you for your help. Magdalene. Yes, kind of formal enough, and that's definitely gonna smudge the ink if you just put it back there. Yes, sure. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. Actually, I just saw this. I basically somewhere I have this, whatever you want to call it, rug whipper? Dust whipper? Put up rugs, you used to smack it to, you know, get the dust out. I have one that looks exactly like this, and I think we had it even before I was a wee child. He's old. I think it came from one set of my grandparents, probably. Oh, whatever. So much has happened since I last wrote. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. Oh, he survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Stoltz said that he's not going to recover, that it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. I don't want to believe it, but it is hard to argue with Dad's condition. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father, or why. I found a note by him too. All it said was, stop. We actually found the note before that. We found the note very early on, basically immediately, once we went to the workshop. Found the note, purple ink, good handwriting, it said stop. And then we went to the rat house where everyone was. So yes, we found the note before he was attacked. It wasn't from the shop, because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I have ever seen. No one in Tassing has such skill in script, as far as I know. Still suspecting Gertrude. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. And worrying about Dad. Yeah. You need something to occupy your mind from that. Because that shit bogs you down. Oh, Utz has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints too. I wish he would stop. He's not subtle and his flirting is annoying. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas, if I can. It's November now, so... yeah, better step up. Step on it. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't really know how long I will have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. And I read that as farting first, don't ask me why. Hope you're farting better over there. All my love. Magda. That took me 2 hours to read a book and write some letters. Translation trouble. I should write back to Esther and let her know all the things that have been happening here. The letters are done. I should go to bed. I hope to hear back from Matthew soon. Keep wanting to click this one, but that one just... Now that I've decided how to portray Tassing's early history, I need to think about how to represent our early Christian history. Right to Matthew, yes. I was only able to read a little bit of the Historia Tassiae. The Latin is difficult, and the book is in a bad condition after sitting in a peasant's drawer for so long. From what I could read, the book talks about various monuments that were made to the Roman gods around town. I should ask around town for help translating the Latin. Sister Gertrude, Baltus, Dr. Stoltz, and even Father Thomas may be able to read it for me. Definitely going to Baltus out of all those people. Well, I guess that's it for today. Leaving this here, having finished the letters, we have now decided on how to paint the first part of the mural. Then we're just gonna go to sleep and see what happens. Anyway, as always, thank you for being here, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much. Please take care of yourself. And try to be the very best version of yourself that you can be, so you don't end up with regrets and other nasty stuff. Anyway, laters.